Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I will show you the first pages in my own touch coloring books that I colored this year. I keep a little list and every time when I do something special like a first page in a book or a double page, I will write it down on the list and at the end of the year I can make a lovely video for you. I also can keep track for myself if I have less uncolored coloring books by the end of the year compared to the start of the year. And I have a huge pile of books that I did my first page in. And yeah, it still didn't bring the amount of untouched coloring books down. The start of the year, I did a month with a new year, new book. January, I also did a new book November month. So there basically were 2 months that I was really focusing on my first pages in the books. Then during the rest of the month I chipped away at some of them and I added a bunch extra new books. So let's have a look together and see what I've colored as first pages this year. The very first page that I colored in 2024 was the page in Beauties and Beasties by Camilla de Eriy. And I must admit, the first page, it wasn't a great start. Kinda embarrassed to show it to you. It was not what I was looking for. And I'm so happy that the second page in this book went way better. So this page, the seahorse, I colored as my very first of the year, as the very first in the book. Distressing for the background, Prismacolors for the rest, and some Posca paint pen. Luckily, I can show you the second one that I've colored, and I'm really happy with it, right? But it was not a video about the most beautiful page this year. So that was the first book. I also colored a first page in the Mona coloring book. And I remember not being that happy with it. I've colored it with the Prismacolor pencils. And there's a lot of snow on the page. Looking back at it, it is not that bad. I see what I meant by there's just too much snow. But it's really okay. Happy with this one as my first page. In the Mona. I also did my first in this one. I can keep saying it, I just remind myself that everything is a first one. With Prismacolors. It's this lovely page with a sleeping girl with her bee. In a lovely red rose. I really like the look of the leaves. I like this page really a lot. Really happy with it. There's some golden gel pen. Really simple, nothing for the background. Just a plain main image colored with Prismacolor pencils. We'll put this one on a different stack. I've colored in the birds in the forest. This book is a very thick book and I've colored plenty of pages in it at the start of the year and I kind of forget about it. If I remember correctly, this was the first one that I've colored. I called it Lovebirds, and looking at the pages, there were multiple that I think there was a Lovebirds. I'm pretty sure this was the first completed one. For the background, I've used the Amsterdam acrylic paint with some shimmery shine watercolors, and all the stars are also from the same watercolor, so it's really shimmery. I like it. a little bit different compared to my other stars that I draw in with a paint pen. In Atlantis, I've colored the crab page. I've used the polychromos for this one. Again, some of the shimmery paint on the crab. I really like the shine. And there is Tuli Art paint pen to outline the flowers and also the color in the middle of the page, the blue, is by Tuli Art paint pen. They were great on the paper, no complaints. And I really like the shine, also a little bit in the flower and yeah. It always makes me really happy to have a page complete in a book. And for this book especially, it was untouched for a really long time. This book is a little treasure. I was so happy to get my hands on it. It is Animal Adventures by Nicole Gustafsson. I've used the polychromos for it. And I've colored this frog prints. I really like the combinations that I've used in those feathers and the bottles to create some extra effect. Really happy with the outcome of it. And I think after finishing it, I was saying, I can do another page very soon. I don't feel scared anymore. And I didn't touch it after it. So it's a shame. There are wonderful pages in the book filled with animals. And I'm not sure if you are still able to get a copy of the book. I know you can buy a PDF version. So I really love it. I got a lot of questions about it. That's why I mention it. Mijn reizen door Afrika by Rita Berman. This was the first page that I've colored in this one. Again, with Tuli Art for the background. And for those flowers, I've used both finger pencils, Castle Art pencils, Polycolor by Kohinoor. I did a lot of testing. Like the bright colors that I went for. Really lovely color palette. Fun memories. And it's a shame that I didn't color more in it. Mythographic Aviary. I really like the Joseph Kettenbang Mythographic coloring books. For some reason, it takes a while before I feel ready to dive in. I get a lot of inspiration having a look at the book. And then I don't color the page. This one I'm really not happy with. It's all because of the background. I've used it in distress ink and I think the color is way too bright. I might want to cover it up with some paint pen. But then I still will have some stains on the, certain parts. Maybe if I go in with a very light background, a pink, maybe I will like it more. I'm not sure. Yeah, I might want to put it on a different pile and see if I can fix it. The rest of the page I like how I've colored it. I like the eggs, the flowers, the birds. Just not the background. It's too bright for my taste. I think I called this one also Lovebirds page. Let me put it on a different pile and see if I will finish it at the end of the month. If I made any changes. If I did, it will pop up. If I don't, I decide against it. This is a beautiful book by Paul Lebron, Amazon, and I colored the jungly page with nice bright flowers and this more muted matte. I like a lot of the images in those books, a lot of animals with nature and beautiful book. I think I've used my Prismacolors for this one. Well, I don't think, I'm sure I've used them. Yeah, this one was a really long time untouched, and after finishing this page, I kind of messed it up. I didn't went back to the book. It's a shame. I know. I really don't like this one. I challenged myself to only use pink tones, and there was just some of the purpley colors, and I really get a huge Barbie feeling of it. Not how I mentioned it. In my head, it turned out really dreamy and magical, and after finishing coloring it, it was everything but dreamy and magical. It's just not one of my favorites, and that's okay. Sometimes you color things that you are not that happy with. So maybe if I want to color another page, I get a better feeling about the book. We will see. Guldkorn by Hannah. It's a compilation book, so yeah, I don't feel really drawn to compilation coloring books. Eriy, the World Lecturer, something, I think. The first one in the book was this one, colored with luminance pencils. They were great on the paper. I added a lot of shimmer on the wings. There's some glitter glue. I really like the shimmer. I really like how I've colored flowers around it. Not sure about this part. The dress can use a little extra. Not sure what I want to change about it. But it needs something. And I think I mentioned it before that it was just not my favorite. So, yeah, great one for Christmas. But I have no time left to color for Christmas. It's a shame. This one, I was so surprised that I liked my Holbein pencils on this page. There, I've used a lot of the pastel colors. Really liked it in the springtime. It was fun to color this one. I was happy it was done. I colored a little every time that I was coloring and slowly building this page. Yeah, great result. Great book. I really love those smaller Japanese books. I really like it. The paper is great. And Holbeins work great on it. This one I almost destashed and I'm happy I didn't. The paper is great in this one. And there are some books that I would love to color. Pages in the book that I would love to color. I started with this very simple one. Prismacolors. Yeah. She turned out a little bit pinkish. There's no background. It is really simple. But there's color. And that is a little win for me. So it's no longer untouched and then I feel a little better to have it in my collection. This is a really cute book about the girl that is visiting some places and enjoying her room, different seasons. Yeah, great book. It's by Chiaki Ida, if I'm right. I'm kind of proud at this one. It was untouched for a very long time. And then I colored all the blossoms. Those flowers were so lovely to color. Prismacolor pencils with the outlining of Tule Art paint pens were great. There's some gold inside of the flowers. Yeah, and not that happy with the squirrel. That's okay. And I still didn't know what to do for the background, so I left it this way because I didn't want to mess it up. I think looking back at it, it's a great decision. Yeah. Not sure about the name of this one. You can find it at Amazon Japan. Another Mythographic Magical Earth by Joseph Kettenbang. The first page that I've colored in this one was this page. And at the start, I really wasn't happy with it. I made a blue house and it was really fading into the background. So I changed up some of the color. I kind of gave it the same colors as the giraffes. It camouflaged in a little bit, and yeah, it's great. I think I'm really happy with the outcome, and after finishing it, I really was inspired to do another one. So in the same month, I was able to color 2 pages. I think it's funny. Sometimes books stay untouched for a really long time, and once I start and dive in, I complete 2 in 1 month. Happens to me multiple times already. A book I also got new this year is the April's Coloring Book of the 4 Seasons. I had a lovely play with my Voradam granulating paints. It was fun. I need a lot more testing with them. I've colored a girl with Prismacolor pencils. The paint is fun. I might want to do another page this month to create some nice effect on the background. We will see. Yeah, April's Coloring Book of the 4 Seasons. I think there must be some Christmassy pages in the back. I didn't think about pull this one off the shelf, so let's have a little flip in the back of the book. Yeah. Lovely wintry pages. Luckily not all Christmassy, so I can have a look in it in January. You might see it early next year. The first page in the fairy tales coloring book I had some trouble with. I discovered Prismacolors don't work very well on the paper. This was my very first one. I was looking forward to color on the paper in the book a lot. And then this was the result. Luckily, I also did a second one, a lot of testing, and I found out the Holbein worked great, the Artisa worked great on the paper. So that's good to know. There's a video about this one and pencils that I've used to test and see what I like. With my coloring style, you might like other pencils. So it's always good to have a test page in your book. Emily? This book is Microcosme by Matilda Kettelen, and I have colored this one with my Derwent Light Fast pencils. I kept it simple for the background, really wanted to focus on the beetles. It took me a while to color. Really liked the highlights that I added. It was fun to color, great paper. The paper in the Marabou books, wonderful to color on, really liking it. A bright white paper, nice edges on the lines, so really liking it. Another Marabou book. This one is by Paule Brun, Faune Fragile. I've colored this one also with the Derwent Light Vest. Not that fond of it. It was fun to do. I also completed the second one in this one. So yeah, happened to me a lot, right? Then a huge book, Walk in the Woods by Laila Dooley. I'm really proud and happy with the outcome of this book page in the book, and I'm really happy this one is no longer untouched. It's a big one. It's in the back of the book. Also with Daring Lightfast pencils. Yeah, those pine cones. Really, they took forever to color. But I'm so pleased with the outcome. I'm really proud at it. I'm happy that there's color in the book. Yeah, the story about the page is also on my completed pages of November video. First I had all those leaves colored with a green, and it gave me this spring feeling. I wasn't happy with it, so I erased it and went on top of it with red. Really happy how it's looking. It feels more Christmassy to me. Yeah, especially what I was looking for. I like how I've colored the highlights on all those pine cones. Walk in the Woods. And then the last one. Oh no, not the last. I got one more. The page that I've colored in the polar bear cruise. Really happy with it. During the process of coloring, I wasn't happy with it at all. I had my doubts about it, and now it's finished. Yeah. I'm really happy. Really like the gel pen, the snowflakes. It's nice and shimmery. It's a really perfect Christmassy one. A wintry one. Good memories. And now it's the last one to show you. This book. I love it so much. I'm really happy to have this one in my collection and to color in it in the Christmas season. Every time I look in a book, I feel inspired and want to dive in, and that's perfect. I want to have it with all my books, this feeling that I experience. For the first page, I've colored this snowman, this dressing for the background, Prismacolors for the rest of the image, some of the Molotov paint for the snowflakes. Yeah. Really liking it. And happy it's touched, colored right away, and that I got it in the right season, and it sparks so much joy, and yeah, I'm really happy with the book. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And as you've seen, I did a lot of first pages this year. It was over 20 coloring books, if I counted right, 21. So, and I didn't make a big dent in my uncolored, untouched pile. So I hope that I will get more colored last year, and I try to not buy that many new books next year. But you know, there are always lovely coloring books coming out. By Hannah, by Maria, by Clara. I will add those definitely to my collection. But I will be more mindful about other artists bringing out, releasing coloring books. And I hope to, end with less untouched coloring books by the end of 2025. So, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!